If you know about and have been to all of these Lake of the Ozarks destinations, you are truly a diehard Laker. For the rest of you, including myself, here are 6 places you may not know about but should seriously consider checking out on one of your future visits to the lake. As I mentioned, I have not been to all of these places, but have done plenty of research to give you the skinny and several reasons to go check them out. Here's the list of where I'll be taking you to today. Number 1, the Tunnel Dam and the underground waterfall. Number 2, historic downtown Warsaw. 3, the swinging bridges of Brumley. Number 4, Wilmore Lodge. Number 5, the Camden County Museum. And number 6, the lake's newest addition, the tallest flagpole in Missouri at Midwest Roofing's headquarters in Eldon. Now, let's begin down on my arm of the Ozarks, the Tunnel Dam and underground waterfall. Tunnel Dam is a true hidden gem of the Ozarks on the Niagara River arm. It's not just an ordinary dam. Built in the early 1900s, Tunnel Dam was part of a hydroelectric project designed to control water flow and provide power to the area. But what makes it truly unique is this, an underground waterfall that seems like it's straight out of a fantasy novel. Tiny by comparison to other Missouri dams, Tunnel Dam redirects water through a man-made tunnel, and when that water flows out, it creates a hidden waterfall. It's a rare and fascinating blend of natural beauty and human engineering. They say that getting there is an adventure in itself. It's not as easy as pulling up in a car. This gem requires a bit of a trek down rugged gravel roads or a boat ride, depending on your starting point. But from what I've read, the payoff is absolutely worth it. With that said, this spot isn't super well known and it's not packed with amenities, but that's what makes it special. It's a quiet escape where you can hear the sound of rushing water and feel like you've discovered something truly off the beaten path. The best time to visit is in the spring or after a good rain when the water flow is strongest. And while you're there, don't forget your camera. You'll want to capture this unique slice of the Lake of the Ozarks. And you know why I started with Tunnel Dam? Because Show Me Power Electric Cooperative shut down the dam operation last summer, but does say that it intends to maintain the dam for recreational purpose. Lake Expo did an article about this last February, talking about the possibility of the dam being torn down, which could have a negative impact on properties downriver. But there is no more updated info online from that article, so hopefully the dam will remain for many years for many of you, including myself, to go visit this true Lake of the Ozarks hidden gem. Next up, historic downtown Warsaw, Missouri. When most people think of the Lake of the Ozarks, they do not think of Warsaw. In fact, I'd venture to say that many do not even know where Warsaw is. So let's start with a geography lesson. Warsaw is at the furthest end of the Lake of the Ozarks, specifically the 92-mile marker at the Truman Dam, basically the intersection of Loto and Truman Reservoir. You get small-town charm that is like taking a step back in time when you enter downtown Warsaw. From beautifully preserved architecture, antique and boutique shops, the Benton County Museum and Historical Society, and plenty of local dining spots with a distinct flair of Midwest hospitality. So when the crowded streets and waterways around Lake Ozark, Osage Beach, or Camdenton have you feeling overwhelmed, you can escape to the other end of the lake for the exact opposite. Some of Warsaw's downtown buildings have been standing since the 1800s and have seen everything from steamboats to railroads to the creation of Truman Dam. The Warsaw riverfront provides a much quieter perspective than what you will find around Bagnell Dam. Or you can head off to the many trails in and around Warsaw for some incredible views of the dammed Osage River. History, shopping, eating, hiking, bike rides, kayaking, paddleboarding, or just a leisurely stroll in and around Warsaw, you will find yourself in a great spot for a quiet and laid-back day at the Lake of the Ozarks. Now from Warsaw, we head off to Brumley, Missouri, where 2 historic swinging bridges still reside. Much like Warsaw, I don't think Brumley is a location that many Lake of the Ozarks are familiar with, but these historic bridges date back to the 1920s and were built to connect the rural communities around them. Now, I have good news and bad news about the bridges. For those of you that wouldn't like a little wobbling beneath your feet, you'll be happy to know that one of the bridges is currently closed. However, according to the website SaveTheHistoricalBrumleySwingingBridge.com, and with donations from supporters, the bridges are set to receive necessary repairs this coming spring and be reopened in the spring of 2026. These two swinging bridges are about a mile apart. The first and the bigger of the cable suspension bridges is the Grand Auglaize Bridge, which spans 400 to 500 feet across. It was built in the early 1900s. That's the one that is getting the work done to it and will be opened or reopened in 2026. Now the second, smaller bridge is the Mill Creek Bridge, constructed in 1925. It's roughly 135 feet long and is currently still open to one-lane traffic, so your trip up there isn't all for naught. The views from these bridges are, as you would expect, surrounded by Ozarks nature with nothing but the sound of creeks below, and if you're brave enough to walk across, maybe an occasional creak of the wooden planks. It's a great spot for families, adventurers, or anyone who wants to experience a piece of Missouri history in the Ozarks. Whether you are looking to buy, sell, rent, invest, vacation, or pretty much do anything at the Lake of the Ozarks, we've got you covered. Just shoot me a message at this number and I will make sure to get you connected to the right people for the job and make sure that your experience or your life at the Lake of the Ozarks is an incredible one. And now we head back to civilization and the other side of the lake, in Lake Ozark, where you will find Wilmore Lodge. It's called a lodge, but it's not really a lodge anymore. It's a visitor center, a museum, and home to the local chamber. And it has awesome views of the origin point of the Lake of the Ozarks as it's perched just above the Bagnell Dam. Wilmore Lodge was built in 1930 by Union Electric for the Bagnell Dam project. It is one of the oldest buildings still standing from that era in Lake Ozark, unlike what you will see on the other side of the lake in Warsaw. Inside, you will learn about how the lake was created, the communities it transformed, and the fascinating stories behind its construction. There are exhibits detailing everything from the original town of Lynn Creek, which was submerged to create the lake, to how Bagnell Dam became a powerhouse of energy and tourism, to many other details about the Lake of the Ozarks. And did I mention the views? It's great all year round, but I'd argue that it's especially great in January when eagles tend to be more prevalent in the Ozarks. Wilmore Lodge serves as one of the stopping points during Eagle Days, another awesome annual event at the lake that occurs in early January every year. And by the way, you can rent the lodge for events. So if you have a corporate event, a meeting, maybe a reunion, or even a wedding, Wilmore Lodge is worth checking out. Now, I do believe that Wilmore Lodge is probably the most known destination on this list, primarily due to its location, but there is another incredible museum at the lake that you may not know about, and that is the Camden County Museum, located in Lynn Creek. If you're looking for a deeper dive on the history of the lake, you will have come to the right place. The museum is housed in what used to be a school building from the 1930s, but is now a treasure trove of local history, from artifacts to photographs to an entire room recreations. The place literally covers it all. One of the favorite exhibits is about the original Lynn Creek, you know, the one that was submerged from the creation of the lake. You can see photos of what the town looked like before the waters rose and learn about the families who called it home. You will see the fascinating evolution from the pre-lake days, the relocation of towns, to the rise of tourism that has now transformed and continues to transform the entire region. Artifacts and historical journals and publications from historic towns, things like tools, clothing, furniture, firearms, Civil War memorabilia, and even Indian relics. You can do a self-guided tour, and they offer group tours by appointment. The museum is run by dedicated volunteers who are passionate about preserving the history of Camden County. They're always happy to answer questions or share stories you won't find in the displays. After you're done at Wilmore Lodge and the Camden County Museum, you will be a history buff on all things Lake of the Ozarks history. Last but definitely not least, and the newest attraction to the lake area, we head up Highway 54, where you will spot from roughly 2 miles out the largest flagpole in Missouri, of course, flying the Stars and Stripes. Located in Eldon, Midwest Roofing is taking American pride 242 feet into the air, standing as not only the tallest in Missouri, but one of the tallest flagpoles in the country. I recently went out and met some of the guys from Midwest Roofing who told their story from local roots to their reasoning behind the flagpole. Now let me put this into perspective for you. This thing is taller than a 20-story building and flies a massive 50 by 80 foot flag. It's impossible not to feel a sense of pride standing beneath it. The pole itself weighs a whopping 63,000 pounds, and the flag, it's so big it takes a small team of men to raise and lower it. On a windy day, you might hear it flapping long before you see it. The flagpole was recently unveiled in November and now will serve as a stopping point for many Lake of the Ozarks visitors as they head into the lake area or out of the lake area. And as they told me in the interview, which you can see on our YouTube channel, feel free to honk as you drive by. They hear you and they appreciate the love. It certainly is a reminder of the values that bring us together right in the heart of Missouri. If this isn't a must-see photo op destination for you the next time you're down, we need to check your priorities. So there it is, the Tunnel Dam on the Niangua, up to downtown Warsaw, out to the bridges in obscure Brumley, back to Lake Ozark at Wilmore Lodge, down to Camden County Museum in Lynn Creek, and out to Eldon for the baddest ass flag that flies in Missouri. How many of these places have you been to? And which one are you hitting next? One thing is for sure, they're all on my hit list, even the ones I've been to before. As I've mentioned 10,000 times, the Lake of the Ozarks is so much more than just boating during the summer. It is rich with history, incredible places to visit and see any time of the year, and many opportunities to find peace and quiet. Incredible views deep in the Ozarks and an education on the history of the lake that will have you teaching your friends and family on why the Lake of the Ozarks is the greatest lake on earth. See you on the next one. Thank you for watching another episode on the Lake of the Ozarks Lifestyle Channel. And remember, if you are looking to buy, sell, rent, invest, vacation, pretty much do anything at the Lake of the Ozarks, we've got you covered. Shoot me a message and I will make sure to get you connected to the right people to make sure that your experience at the Lake of the Ozarks is an incredible one. Thank you for your loyalty to our channel. Don't keep us a secret. Make sure you share this with other people that would be interested. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. See you on the next one.